How you doing, guys? Professor EDC with another BLADE-OSOPHY Sunday. And well, today I'm pretty excited because I want to talk about collecting and letting go. This was inspired by quite a few people I've seen in the tube and talking about collections and collecting and how they've become somewhat stressed or burnt out by their collections, and watching other tubers disappear for a reasonable amount of time, and real good tubers, you know, and just burning out. And I'm not saying that only due because of their collections or collecting or the stress that may come with uploading videos and doing this YouTube thing. But I've been a collector, I think, all of my life, and since I was a kid, and I started collecting, like many of you, seashells and sea snails, you know, the shells in which the snails or the little hermit crabs live in. And I also collected rocks, stones, colorful and soft, and pencils that my family members brought back from the US and here to Mexico. And later on I collected football cards and then baseball cards in the States, and cans, soda cans, and whatnot, mugs, coffee mugs. I also collected coffee mugs until just a few years ago, and it got to a point in each of these collecting stages that I got tired, and it was just too much that I had, and that I ended up either giving away or selling, you know. And I've seen many people on YouTube with that tiredness, and this is something that I always question myself. I continuously question myself, how much is enough? You've heard me if you've been with me for a longer time. But this time is not about how much is enough, but rather improving the collection and learning to let go. So it has happened to me that I have had to sell about half or more than half of my collection because of the situation here in Mexico. Yeah, it's difficult everywhere in the world, but believe me, it's very different for a third world country than for a first world country. So I'm lucky enough to have been able to keep the blades that I still have. And so this situation has helped me get rid of many blades I didn't use and that I liked, but you know, I wasn't totally in love with them, and that I really didn't use all that much. And so it is a whole process, and this whole thing I'm about to turn to it's gonna be my this channel's birthday in a few days or a week or so, and it has turned into something more meaningful for me. It's not just what I share with you guys and the things I'm able to sell because of my collection and the experience and all, but it has turned into a way of expressing a somewhat of a spiritual path through the blades. And it's very curious and funny, because it symbolizes part of my life and part of my path and what I'm going through. And so, you know, I've had my fair share of blades. Compared to others, it is nothing. I realize that. But to my capabilities, or what I'm capable of economically, it has been a fair share, and even more so in this COVID situation and unemployed and all that. So it has become a path of improvement, of evolving, and taking into consideration many things. First of all, my influences, Nick Shabazz, Metal Complex, Cedric Pete from Cedric and Ada. These guys, they're just fantastic, you know, and I still follow them. I still pay attention to what they have to say. Slicey Dicey, and well, just a whole bunch of people that it's just hard for me to remember. Callow Blades, Edwin from Callow Blades, and you know, it's just it has been a wonderful path, and I have gotten to understand my collection a whole lot better, not just from the user side, but from just the collector without getting to use all your blades immediately. And I do think it's necessary in order to have a wider and a deeper point of view, to be both, to be the user kind and the collector kind, the observer kind of collector. And because it is through the use and through observation and what involves all of these collecting, that we get a better sense of a special piece, of something that is beyond its production value, and that is worth an investment. I do believe these have all been investments. These are the result of other investments, whether they were bad or poor or cheap investments. But heck, I might have sold 10, 11 blades to get one, you know, and that one led to have a better blade, a bit of money, and grab an even better knife. And nonetheless, I still keep my classic users around, and I won't let go of those, only if necessary, because those are blades that I honestly use. Now, what you see here they are users. They will become at some point even more used as I program them to face off each other. For example, the Sacred Trinity. They're going to face off each other at some point. Zabanza, Hinderer, and Strider. They will face off. And why? Because I want to know which is better for me. I know it might be different for each and every one of you, but for me, I want to know if they are worth the money. And for that kind of money, I want to know their performance, their honest performance, facing each other at the same time. And so that's something I really have to think about and program in order to do it the way I want to. I just got this wonderful stitch, Microtech stitch, and in the color that I wanted and all, which matches my other two, the Socums. This one is used, and but it's in perfect condition, and was just sent to maintenance and was sent to me right away. And man, is this thing a tank and a freaking badass and cool knife to have. The design, the way it was built, it's such a tank and really just wonderful. I don't know if this is going to stick around, because for the use that I need, I have very clear what my uses are. And it is more bushcrafty, a foot prep. My blades, the blades that stay with me, they have to be very versatile. And so, but you know, it takes me time. Might take me half a year, perhaps less, perhaps a bit more, to know if this is going to stick around or not. But heck, I'm thinking about. And so in this collecting world, I want to get to a point where I can use and be content with what I have. And I think I'm on the right path for myself. This is not criticizing anyone at all. And so I know a lot of collectors who have well over 600 pieces or 1,000 pieces. I know collectors in my area who collected helicopters. I know collectors who have wonderful museums in their houses, who are collectors of art. And I admire some of these collectors because they truly enjoy their pieces of art. It's not just as for, how do you say, like as posers. It's not giving them a social position, but they are truly art lovers, and they know the ins and outs of each one of their paintings and painters that they have in their collection. And I've been able, I've been lucky enough to meet people like this and try to understand and think about collecting, and then look at me, at myself, and look at my collecting. And though I have influences, I have my own way of collecting. I have my own thoughts and my own process. And this thing is never going away unless an emergency. But you see, it's a matter of each one of us's taste and path. And we evolve in this path if we allow the path to change us, to influence us. I do take it as a path to Excalibur. And Excalibur might be a blade, yeah, but I think the true Excalibur, the true Tizona, the true katana is within ourselves. The true sword, the true magical and unique sword is each one of us, and how we are forging ourselves. And so, I don't want to get to a point. I have to listen to what my consciousness is telling me, and what I see in the internet, and my fellow YouTubers. and it's a wonderful road, but we have to let go of things. When do I know when to let go? When I have too much. And this is just what has been my process, okay, and my thoughts. So when I have too much, when I have other needs, when I stop enjoying the hobby, when the hobby becomes a burden, or it wears me down, when I want to improve my collection, go to the next level, you know, it is something that I think, unless you have limitless economical resources, well, great for you. But for the rest of the world, it's not like that. And also, it is a whole different process, and a wonderful process to be limited as well. Why? Because we become creative, and we make trades, and offer some blades and perhaps some money, and man, have I gotten some good deals, and a few disappointments, but it has all been worth it, as I have learned. This was a fantastic trade-off for me, because I got to know this wonderful Spyderco. For me, one of the best models Spyderco has. I love this knife to death, and will stay in my collection for the long run. This is the Spyderco South Art. And I just got a white unicorn that will come in, I hope, this week. And man, I'm gonna have to sell 2 or 3 knives to cover that that price. Unfortunately, this is one of those that might get sold, and I love this. This is the Wii Hecate, and it's a wonderful, wonderful blade. The action, the smoothness. Check this out. I mean, it's just fantastic. You can spidey flick it, you can thumb flick it, and the flipper, smooth. You can even reverse flick this thing. Oops, of course it's going to be tough and make me look bad under the camera, but anyway. And the titanium, the finish on this thing is fantastic. The milling and the color, the finish of the blade, together with the titanium, is just a whole lot of synchronicity and organic harmony. That's the way I see it. It has a small detail that bothers me, and that's it. That's what makes me, you know, okay, this is one that I can sell. My blades for the long run, for my long run collection, they have to be versatile, very versatile as to what my uses. And though this one covers 99% of those, there is that 1% that really bugs me, and we'll see that in a review of this blade. But anyways, I'd like to say and finish this episode with this blade. This is one of my oldest folders, and a pretty cheap one from a company named Wallis. That is in conjunction with Muela and Victorinox. At least these are sold in the same stores. And this was, I don't know, about, how much was it? 15 bucks, I think, 20 bucks. I don't know how many years ago, but many years ago. But I keep my oldest and cheapest folder around to remind me of the time I had very little and used very much. And this is in my work desk. It's always near me. I improved this folder a lot because it really is, it was bad. And the steel, I mean, I use it one time and I have to sharpen it again. And that's how I learned how to sharpen freehand. And that's how I learned to give maintenance to blades, and that's how I learned to acid edge and stonewash. And so I'm still looking for that one blade I can keep and use as that one. And who knows, the closest ones are, of course, the Trinity. I'm not a big fan of automatics. I think that the one auto that I have kept the longest is a Boker Kalashnikov clip point, and I love that thing, and we'll keep it around. But that's why I don't know about this fantastic stitch. But in the beginning, as the first time I held it, I thought to myself, no, this is not going to stay around. And the more I open it and close it and observe it, and I think I've watched, I don't know, more than 20 videos about the stitch over the years. And so this is a blade I have studied well. And that's why I have been hunting it until I was able to get it. And you know, it's very difficult to get things here to Mexico, and very expensive. But the circumstances got together for me to be able to get this beauty in hand and have it in my collection for whatever, for how much time it stays in my collection. Might stay forever, oh, who knows. But you gotta give it time, and you know, it's just things change, and there's a lot out there, but at the same time, I think, at least as my path as a collector, as searching to perfect my blade, my sword, internal and external, I think sacrifices have to be made in order to improve. I think letting go and not having so much weight on ourselves is important at times. Sometimes we have to let go of the past, and sometimes the past helps us advance to the future. But anyway, it is a path of improvement for myself, for me, and a path that I still enjoy. And when I feel that weight, when I feel that burden, or that I'm wearing down, I create space and I let go of some things, and I empty my cup in order to be able to fill it up again. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I want to wish Metal Complex and Bob from the Knife Junkie to get well. Both of them are dealing with COVID. So I hope they're taking good care of themselves, and really wish them well. Godspeed to everyone. Have a wonderful week. Professor EDC out.